Tower Bridge is one of London's most famous sights. Every year, millions of people come to see its two tall towers and blue and white walkways. The bridge stands over the River Thames, not far from the Old Tower of London. Its strong towers look like castles, but they were built only about 130 years ago. The bridge is easy to spot, even from far away. It has two big stone towers that stand on giant piers in the river. Between these towers, high-level walkways and metal beams connect everything together. The central part of the road can rise up in the air like a drawbridge. This clever design is called a bascule bridge. People from all over the world come to watch Tower Bridge open for boats. Its moving roadway and tall towers make it both a beautiful landmark and a working machine. The bridge is a symbol of London's engineering and style. Tower Bridge isn't just old stone and steel. It's full of secrets and stories inside. To understand why it was built this way, we need to travel back to Victorian London. In the 1800s, London was a city on the move. Goods and people were coming in and out of the city every day. The River Thames was like a busy highway, packed with ships, barges, and ferries. Almost everything that came to London traveled up the river. But there was a problem. Most bridges over the Thames were fixed in place. Big ships with tall masts could not get under them. As trade and the city grew, traffic jams on the river got worse. Boats would have to wait for hours or could not pass at all. The area near the Tower of London was especially busy. This part of the river was full of warehouses and docks. Traders wanted a new bridge east of London Bridge, but it had to let ships go by. The city had to find a solution that worked for both road traffic and riverboats. People argued for years about what kind of bridge to build. The answer needed to be smart and strong. London could not just stop growing or trading. A fixed bridge would block large ships, but a simple ferry or floating bridge could not handle heavy carts and carriages. City leaders and engineers started to dream up a new kind of bridge for London. They wanted something strong enough for the busiest traffic but able to get out of the way for tall ships. In 1876, they held a design competition. More than 50 ideas were sent in. Some plans looked wild, with strange shapes and wild mechanisms. It took years to pick the winner. Finally, an engineer named Sir Horace Jones, working with Sir John Wolfe-Barry, made the right plan. Their design had two stone towers and a roadway that could split and rise up. This new idea was called a bascule bridge. The word comes from French, meaning seesaw. Each half of the bridge could tip upward, letting ships pass through the middle. It was a clever solution to a tricky problem. Londoners were excited. Work began in 1886 and took 8 years. The bridge opened to cheers in 1894. Everyone wanted to see the new machine in action. Tower Bridge is made up of several main parts. The first and most famous are the two massive towers. These towers are built on giant stone piers sunk deep into the riverbed. They hold up the bridge and hide all the machines inside. Next are the walkways, which run between the tops of the towers. These high-level paths let people cross the bridge even when the road below is open for boats. The walkways are covered and have glass windows, giving visitors a high-up view of London. Today, tourists come here to see the city and learn about the bridge. The central part of the bridge is the movable roadway, or bascule. It is made of steel, covered with road and sidewalks. The roadway splits in the middle and lifts up. Each side is called a leaf of the bridge. When both leaves rise, there's a wide gap for ships to pass through. Underneath the road, a steel framework holds everything together. Steel was a modern material in the 1800s, making the bridge strong but lighter than solid stone. Inside the towers, hidden from view, was the real secret of Tower Bridge. To lift the heavy roadways, the bridge needed a powerful engine. Back in the 1800s, electricity was rare, so, engineers used steam instead. Giant steam engines pumped water into strong steel pipes, and this water was held under high pressure in tanks called hydraulic accumulators. When it was time to open the bridge, the pressure was released, and huge pistons pushed the roadways up. The whole system worked kind of like a giant water-powered muscle. Steam engines kept the pressure steady all day long. Amazingly, the bridge could be opened in just a minute or two, even though each leaf weighed over 1,000 tons. Workers, called bridge keepers, lived right next to the engines. They had to be ready at all times, day or night, to run the machines whenever a ship arrived. Opening Tower Bridge is actually a lot like playing with a giant seesaw. Each side of the bascule has a huge counterweight hidden below the road. These counterweights weigh just as much as the moving leaf of the bridge. When the bridge needs to open, the hydraulic rams push up on one end, and because the counterweight pulls down on the other end, the leaf lifts smoothly and easily. This clever balance means the engines don't have to work as hard, since most of the weight is already balanced out. The counterweights are made of concrete and steel, and they swing down into a special chamber inside the tower. As they drop, the bridge leaf rises up outside. It only takes a few strong pushes from the hydraulic pistons to move the whole thing. People standing on the riverbank can watch the huge leaves rise up gracefully. The whole process really looks smooth, but inside, metal arms, pipes, and weights are moving in perfect balance. By the 1970s, steam engines were honestly pretty old-fashioned. They needed a lot of care, coal, and water, so Tower Bridge was given a new heart. Engineers replaced the old steam engines with electric motors and modern hydraulics. Now, electric pumps push oil instead of water into the pipes. The system is cleaner, faster, and definitely easier to control. The basic idea is still the same: high pressure moves pistons, which lift the bridge. But, electricity made everything smoother and more reliable. Some of the old machines are still there, though. Today, visitors can actually see the original steam engines in the Tower Bridge engine rooms. These rooms are now a museum, showing how Victorian engineers solved really big problems. Thanks to these updates, the bridge can still open for ships whenever needed, just as it did more than a century ago. Tower Bridge still opens about 700 times a year. That's almost twice a day on average, which is kind of wild when you think about it. Any boat with a tall mast can ask to have the bridge opened. The bridge keepers check the schedule and make sure the road and walkways are clear. When it's time to open, warning bells ring and gates come down to stop cars and people. From inside the tower, operators press buttons to start the electric pumps. The counterweights swing down, and the roadway leaves rise high in the air. Ships, including tourist boats and old sailing ships, glide through the gap. Sometimes crowds gather on the shore or on the bridge to watch. After the ship passes, the leaves lower back down, and the road opens again for traffic. Even today, opening the bridge is a special event. Sometimes the bridge opens for royal yachts or big celebrations in London. Tower Bridge is more than just a pretty face. It is 244 meters long and built with more than 11,000 tons of steel. The towers hide huge chambers and tunnels, all filled with gears, pipes, and cables. The bridge's hidden bascule chambers are deep below the road. Here the giant counterweights swing down during every opening. The high-level walkways are almost 42 meters above the river, giving brave visitors a dizzying view. Few people know that Tower Bridge was once painted brown. Its blue and white look came later, in 1977, for the Queen's Silver Jubilee. The bridge has survived wars, storms, and millions of cars crossing it. Yet its original design still works today. Today, Tower Bridge is a symbol of London's clever engineering and rich history. It mixes Victorian style with modern technology. The bridge appears in movies, postcards, and even Olympic ceremonies. Tower Bridge shows how a city can solve big problems with smart ideas and hard work. It was built to let London grow, to keep both river and road traffic moving. Its towers, walkways, and hidden machines are still impressive more than 130 years later. Inside the bridge, the old steam engines and new electric motors work together to lift the massive roadways. Tourists can walk through its high walkways or visit the engine rooms to see Victorian engineering up close. The bridge is open every day, ready to rise for ships just as it did in the 1800s. Tower Bridge is not just a landmark, it is a living machine. mixing history with daily life. It shows how beauty and technology can work together. When you stand beside it or watch its leaves rise, you feel the spirit of London, always moving forward, but never forgetting its past. Tower Bridge is proof that great ideas and strong engineering can stand the test of time and keep a city connected in every way.